Okay, I am excited for today's episode, Dad. The chip shortage, surprisingly good news. It seems like Tostitos, Frito-Lay. Name another one. Is there another one?
Hers, Utz, whoever your favorite chip makers are, they're making them.
It seems that way. So we have the latest data. As always, join yaa.com/guides/chip-shortage. We update that page every single week. We've been doing it for over a year now, Dad. The most recent data from AutoForecast Solutions, it's good.
Yes. Yeah. If you read this and you don't ever read another thing, you're going to think it's raining cars and trucks, ladies and gentlemen, or it soon will be. But that's not necessarily the case.
Why don't we recap for everyone that's joining us?
Sure.
So 2021, AutoForecast Solutions, they provide this data weekly. They tallied up that globally, we lost 10.2 million vehicles due to the chip shortage. Vehicles that were supposed to be produced that were taken off of production schedules because of the chip shortage, because of staff shortages, etc. Okay? We have tracked that weekly. When they first started the 2021 projections, I think it was like 500,000 was what they were projecting nationally. We ended the year at 10.2 million. So take what we're about to share with you with a grain of salt.
Yes.
The first projection for what's going to happen in 2022 is out. Let's actually start with how many vehicles have already in the first 10 days of January at the time of us filming this. 47,300 vehicles have been taken out of production. Now, the good news there, Dad, only 9,800 are here in the United States or in North America. The rest are in Europe and actually South America, okay?
Yes.
But the total projection for 2022 is actually 767,700 vehicles. That is what AutoForecast Solutions is projecting.
That's as of right now. And that number is subject to change, unfortunately. Boston Consulting Group, who did a real deep dive into the chip shortage and how it's really impacting the automobile industry and manufacturing, figured that there was about 10 million cars lost to production last year. And They're figuring that in 2022, that number will drop from 10 million to somewhere between 7 to 8 million. So there could be a 20 to 30% decline in the number of cars lost to production, which is a good thing. Still a far cry from where we need the numbers to be, but it's a good thing. And the first 10-day projections indicate that we're probably on target for somewhere between ultimately 7 and 8 million vehicles that'll end up being lost to production.
I mean, sure, if you use last year as a guiding light into this year, because last year AutoForecast Solutions initially came out with,
globally we'll lose 500,000 cars.
We ended with, 10 million plus that were lost. So, if we 20x over the initial projection from this year, we'd be at 14 million, 15 million cars lost. So hopefully it's not that bad. But this is their projection for the full year. They have the same information you and I have, Dad. They know exactly what happened last year. We have headlines coming out from Toyota and some of the other manufacturers. They're putting on a positive light. They're saying, hey, things are going to be okay. And we also looked at the KPMG report, and it kind of positioned or told us hey, there's 4 scenarios here. 2 that we thought were highly unlikely or that supply is just going to magically fix itself. However, if you think about what AutoForecast Solutions is saying here, is they're saying it hasn't fully healed the supply chains, but They're saying as of today, their projection is that it's pretty much 90% back to normal is kind of what they're saying.
Yes, and but realistically, you have to look at history, and we started last year at a loss of 500,000 vehicles, and we ended the year at 10.2 million. I'm not saying it's going to be 20x. But it'll probably be 10x. So it'll fall somewhere between 7 and 8 million vehicles that will be lost to production again this year. But as I said, that is a significant improvement over 2021. Not significant enough to really impact the number of cars that we need on dealership lots, but it means that more and more people will find it somewhat easier if they're in the market to be able to buy a car, which hopefully with more vehicles available might impact in a downward manner some of the egregious amounts of additional dealer markup that dealers are asking for.
And there's two parallel stories here worth covering. And I want to mention back on that joinyaa.com/guides/chip-shortage, we actually have now a newsletter that you can sign up for. We'll send you a weekly update about this data. So if you want an email newsletter and you want to be told each week what the changes are in the chip shortage, just fill your email in there. Nothing more, nothing less. I do want to share with you, though, Dad, the second story that comes to mind for me. There's the chip shortage. Great. We talked about that. The car shortage. The actual car shortage is going to be on a different timeline than the chip shortage. It's obviously influenced by the chip shortage. But as you've said so many times before, cars that are being manufactured are spoken for. They've already been sold. And no one, I haven't found data anywhere, Dad, outside of you talking to your friends that are still in the business. Who knows how many cars have already been spoken for? Is it 1 month's worth of inventory that's been spoken for? Is it 6 months worth of inventory that's already been spoken for? Like, that to me is the parallel story here that I don't have good insight into. We know that once the chip shortage, abates and we have more inventory or we have more cars being produced, like that will positively impact inventory levels. But how much collateral damage has been done? How many months of spoken for inventory are already out there?
Many, several. Most dealerships know 90 days out what's allocated and what's going to be available. And so they've been taking their allocations and pre-selling them. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 3 to 6 month pre-sold type of situation where vehicles are spoken for. Because we keep seeing comments all the time that there's still no new cars very limited new cars on dealer lots. I saw one comment from somebody on YouTube who's in the business, and he said, "This is the first day I can ever tell you that we don't have one new car on the lot. Not one." And so if 90 to 95% of all the incoming vehicles are spoken for, it's going to be a long time before dealers can fill their lots up with available inventory for those impulse buyers out there that just want to show up on a Saturday, pick a car, and drive home in it.
Definitely. We'll check back here again. We'll be back next week with the latest data from AutoForecast Solutions and any other headlines that impact the likely, more or less chip production going on. And again, that newsletter is a new option. If you don't want to tune into us here, just check out the website. We should also have updated inventory levels later this week too. So check back on the website for that as well. It's a tough time, man. Tough time. But hey, I'm going to hold on to some hope here. It's the first couple weeks of the new year. I'm running a marathon in a month. Like, I got good positive energy going on in my life, Dad. I think the chip shortage could be on the way out. My fingers are crossed.
Well, you know what? And you know what's even more positive?
Uh-huh.
Next week, you'll be sitting right next to me, or I'll be sitting right next to you when we film these videos.
I love it, man. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I can.